No, the title is not clickbait. I spent an entire day getting 500 plus kills with rocket launchers in Black Ops 6. And here's the receipts. The diamond badges for the rocket launchers. Obviously, you know, this is a weapon that isn't even in the game yet, so that doesn't even matter. The Sigma 2B and the HE1. I did it. I got the diamond badges for them. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, I'm not laughing because anything is funny. It's just the PTSD from having to do this. So, yeah, basically, I went into a hardcore face-off mosh pit, and I believe yesterday we were at, what, 183 out of 500 for the Sigma, and then we were at, like, 250, 240, somewhere in there for the HE1. So if you do the math on that, that's, like, 317 for that, and like 250 plus. Regardless, it's 500 plus, okay? Almost 600, but I did it. Now at this point, I just need to finish up the Greg Cover for the pistols, and then I also need to do the knife. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. We're closing in on the Dark Matter badge here. So, for the score streaks, I'm actually doing pretty good here. You know, I got 5 out of... Oh, wait, I mean, at first I was looking at it like, you know what, I'm doing pretty good here. But then, yeah, you know what? Okay, this is going to take me a while yet. And the unfortunate thing here is that, well, it's not really unfortunate, but, you know, I just prestiged, which means that a lot of the score streaks just got re-locked. So it's going to take me a while to unlock, like, say, the Dreadnought or the Chopper Gunner. Like, especially the Dreadnought. Like, that doesn't unlock until level 54, the Chopper Gunner isn't until 45, so yeah, this stuff's gonna take me a while to unlock. The ace in the hole, the little trick card on my sleeve here is that I'm gonna rely on care packages quite heavily to see if maybe I can pull some Harps, Chopper Gunners, Dreadnoughts out of that, because I do believe that that'll count towards the progression on the other streaks, at least I'm hoping. Actually, I can confirm that they will, because last night I got a care package, and out of the care package I got an LDBR. I've never used that streak before, except I used it with the care package, and obviously, ooh, I just realized something. That not only counted towards my streak kills for the care package, but it actually also counted towards my LDBR kills. I can do a bit of like multitasking here. Otherwise, as I just mentioned, I do still need to get like 100 plus kills with the knife. So I mean, I guess we can dive into a match like face off and start working on that. I'm absolutely in love with the SOG right now. I have 555 limbs with it, which, you know, that's not that much. But I mean, at first I did just enough to get a diamond, and then and then I went ahead and spent the entire day working on the launchers that I had mentioned. But then this morning, hopped into a match in Newtown, dropped like however many kills with it, and yeah, man, I had a lot of fun with it. This thing is really clean. It's really good to use. It's also just a lot of fun. It's obviously a lot like the SOG from Black Ops 4. What do we got here? Gala, War... Dude, I'm voting Classified. Literally, neither of these maps are going to be good for the knife. I can already tell this is going to be one of those, like, stuttery days for me. As I mentioned before, right, with my ADHD, it makes me talk a lot faster than I normally would, but there's also other times where it's almost like the inverse, to where, like, yes, I'm kind of talking fast, but my brain is going so fast to an extent that my mouth physically cannot keep up with it, but it's also so fried from how fast it's been going all morning that I'm just failing to come up with coherent sentences, so bear with me today, please. My hair has been, like, flopping in front of my eyes in a lot of these videos to a point where you guys, like, can't even see it. So I used my headphones as, like, sort of, like, not like a hair tie, but you know what I mean. Like, something just kind of, like, parted to the side so you guys can kind of, like, at least see my face as I'm talking. I mean, I know that's not really doing you guys a favor considering what I look like. But anyways, yeah, now it's time for us to go for some knife kills. So, you know, we're on pit. This ought to be relatively easy enough. Somebody else is going for the baseball bat kills, so that'll be an easy win for me. Just doing a bit of a quick mental health check here. I hope all of you are doing well. I hope all of you are hydrated. I know that may kind of sound like a joke or like a meme or something like that, because a lot of people say that, but seriously, dude, hydration is massive. I cannot tell you guys how many times I've just been feeling, like, genuinely terrible, right? Like a headache, you know, my appetite just isn't there, my digestion's a little bit off, because I mean, in general, I just have a lot of digestive issues, which is a pretty big hurdle of mine. It's something that I have to deal with and battle on a daily basis, but it is what it is. I manage where I can. But hydration, you know, while it doesn't necessarily fix those issues, just because those are just genuine health issues that I have, it does help quite a bit. I actually got into a routine lately where I drink about 6.5 waters every day, and that seems to be like the happy medium for me, also considering the fact that I run 5 miles every single day. You know, obviously I gotta stay hydrated with that, so about 6.5 seems to be good for me. Obviously, if you're being completely sedentary all day, I don't know if I'd recommend drinking that much, because that does seem like a bit much, but as long as you're drinking, I believe they recommend 8 glasses a day, which would be about 4 bottles, then I'd say that's a pretty solid amount. double kill. Also, just with it being the holidays, I don't know if anybody else is like this. Maybe it's just me, just because of like my past and like certain things that have happened around the holidays, and just also considering the fact that, you know, my father isn't in my life anymore. You know, he didn't pass away or anything. It's just me and him stopped talking about like almost 10 years ago now. So, you know, every time the holidays comes around, it just, you know, it just kind of brings up some of those memories. But I know for me personally, like usually around my birthdays when it kicks in, because, you know, I know this is going to sound really corny, but again, as I just mentioned, you know, I cut my father out of my life, you know, a good couple years ago. So every time that my birthday comes around, which is October 26th, I think about one of my favorite birthday parties when I was a kid. It was him, me, and my mom, and we were at Chuck E. Cheese, and it was just that, you know, it was back in the day when they still had the animatronics there. I haven't been to a Chuck E. Cheese in like almost a decade now, actually, maybe over that, actually. It's been a really long time, but this would have been back in like 2007, 2008, one of those years. I forget which birthday party of mine it was, but it was just a really fun day. Again, the animatronics are still there, so I got to see them, got to play a bunch of games, get some tickets, you know, get some gifts at the end of the day, and it's just like a really fun memory of mine. But obviously, you know, with it being tied to my father and just how our relationship went there, usually around that time of the year, around October, late October, when it's about time for my birthday, that's when, you know, the holiday depression can start to kick in. You know, I'm not like a really depressed person, right? Like, I've been diagnosed with major depressive disorder, and I've also got some other disorders like post-traumatic stress disorder and generalized anxiety disorder and obsessive compulsive disorder and ADHD. So unfortunately, with me having so many different like disorders and conditions, they could all sort of like combine sometimes, which can just sort of lead to an overall feeling of not just depression, but just kind of like blandness, and then you go straight from that into the holidays, and obviously there being a lot of memories there with like Thanksgiving and Christmas and such. So, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, I'm not saying all this to be like, oh man, you guys need to feel bad for me. I'm really going through it right now. Like, because honestly, I'm not. I feel genuinely fine right now. Like, I'm pretty happy. Actually, in terms of like this year compared to most previous years, I'm doing a really good job keeping myself in check. I did have like 2 or 3 days so far during this holiday season where it was feeling a little rough, you know, it was a bit of a downer days, but, you know, with Black Ops 6 being out, it's really helped me to cope with a lot of things. And honestly, besides those, like, 2 or 3 days, I've really gotten a good job of just getting a grasp of myself, you know, whether it comes to my anxiety or my depression or just other disorders in general. You know, I've done a really good job in recent years of, you know, whether it comes to, like, self-talk things or just general mental health routines or just keeping myself in check and reminding myself, like, hey, you know, this is just my brain trying to mess with me. This is just my demons trying to fight back against me and keep me from being happy, and I deserve to be happy. So I'm gonna do just that. Just as all of you do as well. Nobody deserves to be sad. Nobody deserves to be miserable. Everybody deserves to be happy. We made some progress that game. Unfortunately, you know, it's cool that I unlocked the Semtex grenades, but I already have those gold. I have the Semtex gold, the frag gold. Gosh, yeah, I've got a ways to go with the C4, the thermos. I made some progress with the impact nades, a little bit of progress with the blast strike. Yeah, I got a long way to go there. Concussions? Almost got a silver badge. Oh, yeah, stem shots are gold, of course, but yeah, still got a long ways to go with the rest of them, of course. If I'm going to be realistic, I'm probably not going to have the Dark Matter badge until I'm Prestige Master, just because there's so many things that don't unlock until so late in the level cycle that, yeah, I don't know. And plus, I'm already Prestige 8, so I'm expecting it to probably be Prestige Master by the time that I actually end up unlocking that badge. Speaking of the holidays and all that, whoa, packet burst, latency variation, all of it just kicked in right there. But speaking of the holidays and all that craziness, I ended up getting my Christmas shopping done just way in advance. You know, when it comes to Christmas shopping, I always do it online just because I don't like going out in public. I only go out in public, like, once every week, every 2 weeks to go to the grocery store, and that's it. Everything else, I'll just buy it online if I really need it, or like, you know, if it's time to use my $5 monthly GameStop coupon, I'll go there to do that real quick, but that's the extent of it. I mean, hey, I got a double kill, so that's something. But I made sure to save up some money before I did my whole Christmas shopping spree, and I got my siblings some gifts, which, man, my mom better cut it out with having all these siblings for me, man, you know? I'm getting up there, you know? I'm not no geezer yet, but, you know, I'm gonna be 30 before too long. I swear, man, if just another couple more years passes and my mom ends up having another child and I'm having to be on, like, Big Brother, because, you know, my youngest sibling is already 3 years old as is, so I'm gonna be on older brother duty until I'm, like, almost in my 40s in terms of just, like, watching them, you know, between the ages of, like, baby to 18. Obviously, I'm always going to be an older brother even beyond that, but, you know, those core ages between 0 to 18, you really got to be there for them. So I swear, man, if I got to be taking care of teenagers until I'm almost 40 years old, I'm going to lose my mind. But yeah, I got 3 siblings, so, you know, I shop for all 3 of them around the holidays, and it's just so crazy, man. You know, my youngest sibling, as I just mentioned, he's 3 years old, so there's literally, like, a 2-decade gap between me and him, but thankfully, you know, he's a boy, so so it's pretty easy to know what to get him. He's into a lot of the same stuff that I would have been into that age. You know, you got your superheroes and the other, you know, like the cartoons that are big for him. Like for me at the time, I was into like Batman the Animated Series and Scooby-Doo and, you know, all that other stuff. There was also like obviously like the Spider-Man cartoons, you know, like the one from the 90s specifically. I remember watching that one a ton as a kid. And then you had the obvious ones like SpongeBob SquarePants and all that. But, you know, now he's into the PJ Masks, and I'm trying to think of like what some of the other ones are. But, you know, I ended up getting him some of those PJ Masks toy sets. He didn't have any yet, surprisingly, which is surprising because he went as like Catboy, I believe the name is, for Halloween. But yeah, he doesn't have any PJ Masks toy yet, so I try to go all out for him, and I got him like one of every single, not just the heroes from the show, but also like a bunch of the side characters or whatever. So he'll have like multiple sets of it on Christmas morning, and I want to get him something else yet. You know, for my sister, she's kind of difficult to shop for because she can tell you to your face that she wants something. You know, even if it's something expensive, she'll be like, "Oh yeah, I really want that thing," and then you get it for her, and then she's just like kind of genuinely ungrateful for it, and will tell you to your face that she didn't actually want that, which is kind of, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, that's definitely a Generation Alpha thing right there. So I don't know, I'm probably gonna get her like, I don't know, like $25, $50 iTunes card for Christmas and just kind of call it that. She's also really into Lilo and Stitch, specifically Stitch. Like, she has a bunch of like Stitch stuffed animals and like decorations in her room, so I might get her like a Stitch stuffed animal or a t-shirt or something like that too. But honestly, I don't know what else to get her, because I always, like, it's not like I don't want to get her something. Obviously I want to get her something, it's just that every time I do get her something, she ends up not using it or just not liking it, even though she told me she wanted it. So like, it's like, I don't know what else to do. And I mean, she's always asking for iTunes cards, and she's always really happy when she gets those, so I guess that's what I'll do for her. And then my other younger brother, he's a little bit older now, which is crazy. You know, I still look at him like he's, you know, he's a little baby, you know, maybe even like 5-6 years old, but no, he's like, he's gonna be like an adult here before too long. I got him a wide range of stuff, you know, me and him, you know, it's one of those things where obviously I don't pick a favorite between all my siblings. I love all of my siblings, but I will say that obviously, since, you know, the next youngest sibling from me, because I'm the oldest, so the next youngest, the one that's soon gonna be an adult, you know, me and him are just really close because obviously we've had all those years to connect, and since we're so close in age, you know, at least relatively speaking compared to the other ones, there's still like a 6-some year gap between us. Yeah, you know, relatively speaking age-wise, you know, we've just always been really close, and obviously I'm always like really in tune with what he wants, so I hooked him up with some stuff. You know, he's really into like music and stuff like that. Like he plays violin, he plays piano, really into classical music, so I, you know, I got him some sheet music, got him some, you know, like t-shirts and stuff for like some of the artists that he likes. Also hooked him up with some video games because he's obviously also a gamer. I mean, you know, I'm his older brother, so of course, you know, all my younger siblings are gamers. You already know your man Grotesque be raising him right, getting him on the video games as soon as possible. So I got him a couple video games as well, and yeah, then I also did some shopping for my mom and my stepdad, of course. You know, just got them some things that I figured they would like. Nah, I can't say what I got them exactly because my mom actually watches my videos sometimes, so haha, Mom, you thought you were about to find out what you were gonna get, but you gotta wait till Christmas morning. And then my stepdad occasionally watches my videos, so I'm not going to say anything there, just in case this happens to be the one video that he ends up watching. The holidays are also just really chaotic in general, because my family is, how do I put this lightly? Man, it's hanging on by a thread some days. Generally speaking, just when it comes to my family, but also like my extended family. I've gone on record about this before. I don't talk to my extended family before. The only family I have in my life anymore is my siblings and my mother, because I just, I'm like the black sheep in my family. My family's one of those messed up families where they have like a hierarchy where like some people are more loved and liked than others, and others they just kind of talk trash on all the time. I'm one of the black sheep just because I was a stupid teenager, but what can you do? If I cared, I'd try to do something about it, but I really don't care. I couldn't care less. You know, there's so many things about that family where I'm just kind of like, yeah, you know what, I couldn't be bothered anyway, so I don't care. I'm happier alone anyway. Usually how holidays work for me is like Thanksgiving dinner, for example. You know, I always just do that alone in my room. I'd just rather be alone. Same thing with like Christmas dinners, you know, always do that by myself. I eat every meal by myself. I haven't eaten around anybody in like 4 or 5 years now. I just don't like eating around people. It just makes me feel weird. Just, I guess one of the last remnants of my eating disorder, I don't know. I just don't like when people watch me eating. It just makes me feel weird. So I just eat alone in my room while I just, you know, usually sit in silence or maybe listen to a podcast or listen to some chill music, maybe like some chill cafe music. But when it comes to like main holiday events, at least usually, like, you know, when it comes to like opening gifts on Christmas or like, you know, looking at Easter baskets or whatever on like Easter morning, you know, I do that with my family like first thing in the morning, like my mom, my siblings. You know, like Christmas morning, you know, right out there in the living room, I'll just like go out, we open the gifts, do that, and then they'll go to like my extended family's house, like, you know, like my grandmother and grandparents and stuff like that. They'll do that later in the day, and at that point I'll just, you know, just chill at home, do my own thing, play Call of Duty, work on these videos, of course, because I never miss a single day of the year. I'm still so proud of that, man. I don't even know, like, what streak we're on at this point, because I always forget the exact date. I started this daily streak back in mid-July, like July 20th, I want to say, of 2020, so we're, like, 4 years and 4 months on this daily upload streak, and I have not ever missed a single day. I have always had something uploaded on this channel every single day since then, and I am so proud of that, and I never want to break that streak. Also, I apologize if I've been dying a lot in the gameplay. I haven't even been paying attention to the gameplay. I've just been talking, and like, you know, I've been running around. If I happen to get a kill, I do, but I've been way more focused on the commentary, I'm not gonna lie. I gotta step up my game. I gotta get these kills done. But yeah, you know, it's one of those things that I've talked about many times before where there's like this general misconception with a lot of people where they're like, oh man, every human needs socialization, every human wants socialization, being lonely is so sad. But you know, I feel like a lot of people really need to adjust their mindset and realize the fact that there is different personality types and, you know, like mental, I don't know what you want to call it, like mental thought types. I don't know what the actual word for that. Maybe that's just like the same thing as personality types. The reason that I don't have any family in my life and the reason that I don't have any, you know, friends or girlfriends or anything in my life, like the reason that I'm single and I have no friends and I don't ever see my family isn't because, oh, you know, I've been hurt in the past, so now I just don't want anything to do with people, you know, the world has turned me cold. No, and it's not even anything inherently against people, as I mentioned before, because there is still some family in my life, like I mentioned with my siblings and, you know, my mother and stuff like that. It's just that beyond everything else, you know, I have an introverted personality type, and I'm just happier when I'm by myself. You know, the times that I'm happiest, as much as I do enjoy hanging out with my family, spending time with my mother and stuff like that, you know, the happiest times for me is when I'm just sitting alone in my room, working on YouTube videos, playing video games, or tinkering with other things, you know, whether that be watching anime, or building Legos, or coloring, or drawing a picture, or working on something artsy, or even something like cleaning up my room, just when I'm in my own space, completely alone, free to just be me with no outer judgment, no outer eyes, no noises, no people, no talking, no nothing else, just me in my own zone with no other souls around. That is when I'm at my happiest. I just enjoy being alone and doing things by myself. Not because I'm, you know, again, not because I've been turned cold by the world, not because, oh, I hate people, oh, the world sucks, oh, I'm so depressed, one thing or another. No, I'm happier alone. That's it. I just find it to be much more happy and peaceful and enjoyable to live life that way. You know, if some people want to go out and party all day or hang out with their friends all day and hang out with their family all day, that's awesome. I'm happy for them. But me personally, that's just not me, and that's completely okay. And, you know, it's one of those things where it doesn't annoy me when people are like, oh, man, you know, why is this guy always being so negative? Because I see that in my comments all the time. People are like, oh, man, this guy's so negative. He's always talking about how much he hates people. Oh, he's just been with the wrong people. You gotta find different friends. This, that. Like, no, it's nothing like that. You know, I get along with people. I just like doing my own thing, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It's the same example I bring up time and time again. I love pineapple and more so ham and pineapple on pizza, you know, that good old Hawaiian combo, whereas some people despise that. That's totally okay. So if anything, I look at the fact that my family life, like my relationships with my family, you know, them completely falling apart, I look at that as a blessing in disguise, because with where I'm at nowadays, it just takes a whole lot of stress off the holidays, so I can just, you know, look forward to that time. Thanksgiving dinner, I'm guaranteed to just be sitting at home alone with, you know, some chill Thanksgiving music or Christmas music going in the background, 'cause, you know, during the holidays, I like to do that, where I turn on some chill, you know, holiday festive music as I, you know, eat my meals or work on wrapping gifts or one thing or another, and just have that time to myself to just relax and just enjoy life and just, you know, have that peaceful moment of reflection and somewhat like meditation of sorts, because some people don't know that too, but I also enjoy like meditating from time to time. It's a great way to clear your mind, especially when you got ADHD like me, where brain's racing a million miles a minute like every other second. So, you know, it's nice to have that moment to try to clear your head and just relax. Not to mention Thanksgiving and Christmas nights when I get all cozy, you know, wrap up in my favorite jacket or whatever, then I'll watch like the Charlie Brown specials, you know, whether it's like the Great Pumpkin for Charlie Brown or like, you know, the Christmas ones, or there's always like that, you know, you got the Shrek the Hall special that I like to watch every year, as well as the one SpongeBob special. I forget what the exact name of it is, but I watch it every single year. It's the one that's like stop motion or whatever, where Plankton gives out like fruitcake, but it like makes all of them like really grumpy or whatever, and then like even Santa gets grumpy and there's like a robot SpongeBob or whatever. I forget the exact name of it, but I watch it every year. It's an absolute classic for me. But anyways, I think I've done enough jib-jabbing and blabbering for one day. Oh, we made some good progress on the knife, right? Got like 50-some kills. Again, I could have made way more progress, but I was way more focused on the commentary than the gameplay, so I'm scared to edit this video, because when I go back and watch it, I have a bad habit of talking and then like forgetting to actually focus on the gameplay, so I probably died a lot, didn't get a lot done, but it is what it is. At least I made progress. I'll have that diamond by tomorrow, and then, yeah, same thing with the pistols. I'll have those done by tomorrow. As for the field upgrades, the tacticals, lethals, and score streaks, I'll get there when I get there. But anyway, as always, massive shout out to all the patrons and channel members taking holding the low ball tier, and an even bigger shout out to the big ball tier, Malasking, and Big Dad Many, and the biggest shout out to the G tier. Run events on the cheese girl. Thank you guys so much, guys. You're little legends. I love you. Good on you, Doki, Arigato, gozaimasu. Have an amazing day. Stay beautiful. I love you all. Peace.